Why are you biting your nails? Why are you biting your nails? Like seriously. If I think you both believe that I think they do understand me. Okay. First, let me like me. Let me introduce myself to myself. Hi. I was born from my father. Well, that's not true. I think I was born from my mother. I was born into this world. Born into this world. So what should be the real phrase with that? For those who don't know what I really do, what I really do, I breathe. I can do like you. Let's start off as we're all the same. We're all breathing. We're all what I think I can assume if you're in the normal state of mind, according to the dictionary, not Black Laws Dictionary, that we are humans. We are the receiver of the light. Others might say, what are you talking about? What do you mean, the receiver of the light? Can you explain yourself? Do you fall under one of God's children? Are you the child of your mother? Are you the creation from your parents? How far back do we have to go? Okay, let's go back to the beginning of the difference between the switch between the English language, what it is now, to what it wasn't before. How were those words transmitted before they became what they are today, that I can communicate with you in the words that I speak with the ABC? Is it the alchemy? I'm going to put alchemy as with an I instead of a Y. You see, like if I used a Y instead of an I, so I would go like in January, I would go Januaries, and I would go IES, just like if it would be in the 20s, TWENTIES. I've been studying the alphabet for the last 20 years. I've been studying the numeric algorithms of the alphabet, as well as the algorithms of the zodiac, the algorithms of the days of the week, the algorithms of the weeks of the months, the algorithms of the changing moons, the algorithms of the changing seasons and the changing years, and the relationship to what it means, what is it about, and what is so misunderstood or understood as to what is 666. What is the relevance to 888? What is 741 hertz versus 852, 432 healing vibration of the planetary of Earth, knowing that easily to be said and can be seen by all. You know, it's funny, as human beings, we can think things, oh, that's just normal as it is, but other things can't be imagined broader than they actually are, just like number 51. What is in between 5 and 1 is 2, 3, and 4. There are 3 area spaces. That 2, 3, and 4 between 51 equals to your what can be seen as your 9 birth, to your 5 and 1, 6 life. Between 5 and 1 is 2, 3, 4. For the 2, 3, 4 equals to what is the 9? To what is 5 and 1 equaling to 6? To what is 3 times 3 equals to what is 2 times 3 equals to 6? The equation more or less would look like this. The end result would be star math of multiple systems, 3 by 3, 3 plus 3, noted that 3 and 3 is the beginning and is the end, and that everything that is lived in between is lived at the heaven's gate. Seven and 8 equals to 15. 1 and 5 equals to the 6th planet of Saturn. in the mirror creation of Earth, in the what I call the citizen band of Venus, the half-life, 3 times 2 equals to 6, 2 being the Venus, 3 being the Earth. We come here in the 9 birth. Is it a reduction? 1.5 times 6 is 9. Do we say it's 60 seconds on the clock? 90 seconds on the clock. To what is 60% of, to what is 90% of, to what is 100% of. Then we get the addition of the understanding of an algorithm that was going about, okay, for a long time. And the algorithm in this, hold on a second, is about what is 110%. So 110% of itself, 10% more, would that be 11? 1.10 times 110 equals to 121. That's where your 121, 11, 11 comes in. Your 100, right, becomes your 110. Your 6 becomes 66. Your 9 becomes 99. So you come into this world and you run the 60-second clock of the 60 minutes to the 100% of time. To the 90 of the 90 birth. Remember, when you hit the 90 section, we begin. 90 section, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9. What do I do here? I understand what they're doing, what happens with numbers, right? And I was reading in a chapter today, and when we got to chapter 96, do you know what it said? It said 96.1. So I'm going, whoa, but we're in chapter 96, but it started at 96.1. What happened to 96.0? It wasn't there. It was 96.1. So there was no 96.0. 96.0 is what if all that is in that chapter. It's probably just a heading at the top of the chapter telling you about the whole chapter itself. And then when you get to 96.9, well, obviously it's 97. So you can see that within what is 10 is 9. So the birth falls into Capricorn at the end of life on the day of rest. It is the day of your rest, the horizontal rest, the heavens that brings in the 9 birth, the horizontal rest of what brings in the heavens, the 9 birth. But I have a question, and in the deck of cards, I'm not sure if it's the King of Clubs or the King of Spades, where there's an eye in the center, also looking like something that comes out of a tree. But if I overlook it through my mind and see the partial rings, the ring to the left, the ring to the right, when they crisscross over the circles into the area zone of the other home, going around the center cone point, meaning this is the center. I'm on this side, you're on this side. What happens is I go onto your side, but I don't, not completely. I go over this ring. When I go over the ring, my wrist is on this side, but my clippings are on this side. Is that because I closed my C into an O? And then you came along and you closed your C to an O. Here's your C this way. That's my C. Do you see the different C's, that my opening here and then your opening here? Is it a closed C? Is it really possible to have a circle in reality? How do you become that diameter of the circle of the protractor without entering the center or being at the center of that area space? Will you leave that area space, or will that protractor just be going round and round and round and round? You become the diameter, you become the circumference of what is, right? And can you be at both times on both sides? Should I add an extra arm to your protractor? Should there be a longer arm to your protractor so we can draw out 2 circles at the same time. And remember the shadow circle that happens when you're creating the circle. As you go around the circle, how much time did it take you to go around that circle, and what happened to the light above you? Can we measure that for the shadow as we went around the circle? Invite Oracle to co-host now. I don't know where Oracle is. We have Kate. How are you tonight, Kate? It's me, you, and 8-point-something billion missing out on this very moment of something very pertinent they may need. This is like showing up at a giveaway sale. You know, somebody like, this is what I really think. Now you might say, well, I'm thinking high about myself. Well, I just know the algorithms work. I know the situational. Ozzy, is there a problem? Do you have to be so nervous? How can I make you guys relax? You want to go out? Yeah? Yeah? Okay, I'm going to let you out. Now talk about times changing. That is very rare they walk out on me. Okay, I'm not going to joke around right now. I'm going to try and keep this as serious as possible, and you know, PP is a gateway. So penicillin, why would PP be a gateway? The letter P is the 16th letter. And when you say it twice, 16 and 16 is 32. If you said it 3 times, okay, you'd add 16, it would be 48. So it's a PPP. So, but that really doesn't work, because usually the kids say, I got a PP, and this is all about our base creation before we've been over manipulated, indoctrinated with the alternative of what the alphabet really is, before we really can bring to face the reality of, maybe it would have mixed us up, the reality of the number system, of what is a number, and why is 1 written the way it is, and why is it O-N-E, and in French it's un, and in Spanish it's uno, dos, tres, cuatro. In Hebrew, it's Aleph, Bet, Dalet, Gimel. I'm not sure what they say for the number in itself, but I do know that they have used as Aleph 1, Bet 2. I don't know how they say the numbers. I also know there's a difference when they say the number 15, that they're usually going to aviate saying Yod, Hey, which is 15. And through intensive research, what I have noticed is that when you are at 15, you do not say 4, you do not say 6, you do not say 5, you say 5th, and 5th becomes the replacement of 5, where F and V have an exchange of positions, or 2 times 3 to what is 2 times 11. Which means 2 times 3 is 6, the letter F, instead of the V being what is the 22nd letter. I'm just listening to what's going upstairs, so I'm just trying to keep up with this. Just to note, it's 4 by 22, 88 constellations in the sky. The V letter is also associated with Vav in the Hebrew language. Which is F in the English language, it's 6. And instead of them saying Yod, Hey, they will say Tet, Vav. And that will equate to what is 9 and 6 over saying what is 10 and 5, which is understood as the name of God, and they do not use that. It's also noted that 105, which is 3 times 3.5, which is the heart of these cubes here. These cubes, the opposite side added to each side, added dots, will be 7, on each side. 3 by 7 is 21, but to reach the half area space of 7 is 3.5 times 3 equals 105, noted to what can be the hand of God, or the letters J and E, 10 and 5, which is 1 times 5 and 2 times 5. When you have this association, the numeric value, okay, the equivalent to these numeric values that equate to this word, these letters over here is 2 times 5 is 10J, and 1 times 5 is E. Mars happens to be numeric value 51. Earth happens to be numeric value 52, in which in this situation, you will find the renumeration of these two letters over here, Yo. Y25, O15 equals to the blue world of Earth, bringing both of the better of these two worlds, the world of love, to M. M, okay, in sound to the French, says like A-I-M-E, equaling or equating to, okay, onto the ears of one as love. I'm just trying to see where I have it in here. In French, âme is soul. Take away the I. So if it is within I, is my soul that I love. What is it within me, my spirit? The O brings together the association of the star system. When you connect the star system, you do not connect the entire arms, you electrocute yourself. The octagon is made to connect as a hexagon. There are 4 hexagons inside the octagon for the communication of the word. The word comes amongst the breath. Now the thing is, I also see that within the word of spirit is a pirate. So what has happened? How are things been pirated, right? What are we now receiving? I already understand the association between the earth being the hue, the torch of light, and the association between Mon, okay, which can be Isra, okay, also known as Mon, the vibration within the singular moon, the moon in our sky, okay, in my work, doesn't belong to us. We have 2 moons. We don't see them ever. They are what is called the Mars Moon Association, number 42. We are the association of, we are the association of 32. Mars is the association of 41. Planet 4, 1 moon. We are planet 3, 2 moons. Mars is associated with Mercury, and Earth is going to be associated with Venus, for the comportment that within the 3rd number, okay, is already the association of 1. And it's very important that we have the association of 1 inside 3. 23 becomes the communication between ABC and BCD. It becomes the split house, the delta angle, the house of Dalit. See, we're in this situation over here. It looks like 41. It's not. It's 14 or 41. 1, 2, 3, 4. A, B, C, D. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet. You see, in English, it's A, B, C, D equaling to 10. But in Hebrew, if I had to use the G letter, that would equal to 14. Now, it explains to me about how we're living upon the ring, how we are living within the rock of Capricorn, the Capricorn stone, which also equates to what stands on rest and the 7th day and the day of the death. When you rest in peace, when you stand, resting and standing, crossing through, living within you by the breath. The umbilical cord gets you here. Once you here, you reconnect by the breath. They split it in half. We only have one of them. You split it you get a half. Half equals to E. The only thing that's a half on this cube in my reality based, that we are all the children under knowledge, only on the basis of what's fair to all. What do you see? What do I see? We're going to use that. And the only one that is 1 on this cube is 3 and 4, are opposite 7s. There's only 1 that make a difference. If we meet in the middle at 3.5, right, then we meet at the halfway point of the entire cube. 0, 3.5. Right? 0. Sorry, it's going to be 0.5, 1.5, 2.5. Stop right there. Don't go any further. Because that's the way it is. It just is. Now, I'm telling you the story. I don't want to sell you the story. I want to show you the story. I want you to see where it is. If I'm going to speak and you're interested to know, is there any pertinence? Where is this going to take me? What will this teach me? This is going to show you the perfection of an algorithm that was created long enough ago that it would have taken, that you would say, how could they have done this? You will ask yourself that question. How can they have done this without a computer? And I'm talking about the words spoken over time, even when you go back to, if you want to go back to pi, and how pi equates perfectly to the 7 days a week and into the hub of the Mayan calendar 25,920 years ago. Sort of losing my place. I'm just trying to stay on, I'm gonna go get a glass of water. I'm running out. Very important you drink water. Oh, I'm a big talker. I was very blessed tonight. I went to this place with, we were like 7 or 8 of us, with my brother-in-law and the kids. And I don't even know why we went out, but I never thought that having 6 wings, seriously, that having 6 wings, and I'm going to say, okay, I had enough. It was like they were that, like they weren't oversized, but I don't know. It was like very funny, but they were good. And usually I would, like, I wasn't going to think of, anyways, what was funny is my brother-in-law told me this story, and about somebody that I knew from like 35 years ago. And it's just so funny that my intuition, 35 years later, my intuition was exactly the story to what happened during a period of time. And this is a story that goes over 35 years, and this is the first time I heard it from somebody that didn't know I knew the other person, or sort of thought I knew the other person just through how my vibes were and what I saw from a very little bit of, like an outline, a skeleton like of somebody. It was just really good. So I'm sort of maybe just throwing myself a bone right now. Yeah, I'm not sure if anybody said anything. I really wasn't looking at the comments. I'm too busy liking myself. I'm the one tapping all those hearts there. Just give me a minute to revibrate myself. See, by tapping these hearts, I never knew, but I was reading on an app that if you can just tap these hearts and close your eyes and think about yourself recalibrating, eventually you'll start doing it again. You got to put yourself first. I was on an airplane not a long time ago, and the stewardess, he said, if the airbags drop, he says, save yourself before you save anybody else. I mean, but who else who is airborne would ever put that forward to you? Save yourself before anybody else, right? Why would a paid company, a big airline company, in fact, the whole airline company, they're all in cahoots with each other. They want you to save yourself first should anything happen. So what's going on? Is that right? You think this is what should happen when you get on an airline? Right, when that airbag drops in the plane, it's just like going like this. You're thinking like put on your airbag or save who's next to you. Like I'm already saying, if I can be that protection for who's next to me, that would be great. But if I don't put on the airbag, I might pass out and I won't be able to help them. So I'll just put the airbag on. Now, if I don't have enough time to put the airbag on, well, que sera, you know. Another thing I wanted to speak about, and it was with the letter K. I'm just trying to remember what it was. K is oh yes, it was the pee-pee and the caca. I remember. Yeah. The old pee-pee and the caca trick. I remember that. I'm going to get on to that one. Oh yes, I found it right over here. All you kids over there over 10 years old, under 10 years old, or under 5 years old, or forget it, they're all sleeping. All the mothers and fathers out there, I want to know, right, how many times you've said this. If you have any kids, anybody have any kids? You ever say that? Well, that's number 77, right? The caca, I'm just using the first letter, right? And that here, that's number 33. It's actually Christmas. This is what you're saying. And I don't know if it's a PC personal computer 3773, right? But this is an association, okay, directly from your association, okay, with Mars. Where do I get this answer? Why do I make this? Why do I tell this story? Story, only a story. I'm going to tell you why I said it, because of the numbers. I want to come. I want to get, okay, I need to start off at the bottom. And I can't get to the bottom with 369. I just can't. I know it took 1 and 2 to create 3. Okay. I know it took 1 and 5, okay, to create 6. I knew it took 1 and 8 to create 9. 852 healing vibration, all with 1 to create 369. I also knew it was 4 and 2 equals to 6, and 4 and 5 equals to 9, and 4 and 8 equals to 12. 1 plus 2 equals to 3. See, I know 4 and 2 equals to 6. I know 4 and 5 equals to 9. I know 4 and 8 equals to 12. 1 and 2 equals to 3. I know it's still my 258. Okay, correctional center for creation in my birth to life. Now I'm going to go on to part 3. I know it's going to be to the gateway, okay, and in the house. I know it's going to be to the gateway, okay, and the powers of I'm going to call it the E world, the split house, okay, the oceans have been split. And then I'm going to go 7 and 8, okay, into the vibration, and still what we're going to do all through 2, 5, and 8, and 2, 5, and 8. I'm just showing where the association of the commencement, where the first numbers should be. I'm going to show you my theory and reason why. So you can see right now with 1, with 4, and 7, you all end up with 3, 6, and 9. 7 plus 2, 9, 7 plus 5, 12, 1 puis 2, 3, 7 plus 8, 15, 1 puis 5, 6, 1 puis 2, 3, 1 puis 5, 6, 1 puis 8, 9, 4 puis 2, 6, 4 puis 5, 9, 4 puis 8, 12, 1 puis 2, 3. But this is not the end of the explanation. So what do we end up with? The thing is, if I go 3 and 3, I get 6. If I go 3, 3 and 3, I get 9. If I go 6 and 6, I got 12. 1 and 2 is 3. So I never leave. 3, 6, 9 is in jail. It never leaves. But when I go 8 and 8 is 16, right? 1 and 6 is 7. When I go 5 and 5 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. So you can see the interchanging between 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7, 8. That the 1 will go into the 2, then into the 3. So the trinity of creation and the process of the algorithm of this planet is 741. And then if I picked up and showed you my phone, look up 741 and how it works. And every division of 3 of 741 in any composition in any order. Then you can see that 1 times 3, 3 times 1, 4, 7, 3 times 1, 3. 3 times 4, 12. 1 plus 2, 3. 3 by 7, 21. 2 and 1, 3. So this 147, will work in 3. When I'm working with 2, 5, and 8, okay, when working in 2, 5, and 8, 3 by 2, 6, 3 by 5, 15, 1 and 5, 6, 3 by 8, 24, 2 and 4, 6. The total is 39 plus 6, 45. The total is 18. 18 minus 45 is 27. 36 minus 9, 27. The female sex organ, the sun, the gateway passage of the fox, the oxen, right here. Male sex organ, 36, female 45. There's a gateway between 3 and 4 and 6 and 5. And we can match it inside your father's creation, alpha, beta creation. Here's your 6 and 5. And if you take a look at this, the base of this, see the face here? You might see 5, but there's an empty space. Each area space will contain one of these numbers. If you see the 6, you will be missing 3. If you see the 5, you will be missing 4. Inside what you see is 7, 11 to what is your alpha beta creation of the 7th gate in the heavens of Neptune. The waters of Neptune, more or less. I only tell you a story. I lead you to an area space and I show you different layers of an evaluation of a word. If you're reading this out of the Bible, the Quran, it doesn't matter. There's got to be a reason for each and every one of those words for telling the story that it does. And the only reason I'm saying this is because I've seen it in multitudes of places, stories that seem so real, they can't be anything but real, but more realistic, okay, that the mathematics also work out, which brings me to understand logically that whoever created this 500, 600, 700, 1,000 years ago, okay, either they were incredibly smart, indoctrinated the whole planet with this perfect knowledge that fits right into your calculator. So if not, otherwise it took a computer and something has been hidden over time. For what reason leads us to believe what? Because this is my only finding right now. It is impossible for me, but that's my only belief, because for me, there's no way for me. I never could understand how we can have an IP address, even the wording of your IP address, right? Sorry, or was it rest in peace? And that was a personal connection with the Lord, which again, back to PC, personal computer number 7337. I was going to explain that. right? I was just finished showing that with this number 147, is this over here? Yeah, with this number 147, we run 7 months of 31 days. We run 4 months of 30 days, and then we run the month of February. The month of February evaluation is number 96, just to let you know. Then we run 4 months. What months do we run? First we run 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, and then 12. And then we run 4, 6, 9, 11. I've never really sat to check this algorithm or the association of this, okay? But inside of this is the 12 months of the year, right? I didn't include February, but we can see that in the 11th month, 1 and 1 is 2. That can equate to what is February. So why would we bring November into February? And it's the second month, it's in a perfect position. Unlike October, 1 plus 0 equals to 1. It's the third month in. Unlike this is the second month in reverse alphabet. So you can see October will hold the Capricorn stone within it. Libra and Capricorn will come with inside here. And you can see the third month. Look at that. The air sign, this is an air sign. We have another air sign over here. We brought in the earth sign, but this connects through the air sign, and this connects over here. I don't remember if it's the mutable cardinal of fixed. I haven't, memorized that yet, but there's going to be a double connection over here. And then these two between Scorpio and Leo, there's going to be a connection over here also. And let me see how many the difference. Okay, yes. And okay, between January and May, we could also look at this. If we wanted to look at this as the zodiac, there'd be 2 fire signs. They're both 31 days. Each one of these are 31 days. They're all 31 days. AC and A, the divided sun at the gateway in the heavens, right? Look at that, under the birth of the Capricorn stone and the creation of Pisces. Why is it the creation of Pisces? Can somebody explain that? This is the association of the 7 months of 31 days to the 4 months of 30 days, and then February, right? Taurus. Why Taurus? Why the oxen? Why, right? And it even matches up, because if Aleph is an oxen, right, then the oxen is also noted to be the second zodiac sign. I'm going to get a glass of water. I hope I can hold on to what I was talking about. Otherwise, I will not be able to continue. I'm going to explain to you these again, right? I'll be back in a second. Wait, where do I get the... Ow! Ow! Sorry about the slight interruptions. Let me read some of the stuff. I haven't been watching. I'm just like going through the regular role. I'll explain myself if you come in here and ask me. I like to back up everything I talk about. There's usually something somewhere. There's an algorithm going on. There's something that everybody knows. I like to work on what everybody knows. I mean, like, I'm going to say Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner. I'm going to say Dr. Seuss. I'm going to say Batman and Robin, the Goblin or the Burglar or the Penguin, Casey and Finnegan. So it's just all these words that have processed over the last 60 years of my life. And is there a reason for any of these words that have come to me over and over again? What have they done to those in their 40s? What have they done to those at 45? What have they done at 50? What have they done at 55? What have they done at 60? What does it mean? And why would I work by fives? One part of the algorithm advancement is the ABC advancement. When you go ABC and you go D, you have flipped over to the fourth side. You flipped over the coin. Okay, that's number one. 1, 2, 3 equals to 6. Add 4 equals to 10. It flips everything over. So when you start again in the fifth year, so you go through 4 years, the fifth year is the start over again, right? So that would also be noted to be, if I understand correctly, as 1 1/4. And 1 1/4 is 5 times 5 times 5. 5 times 5 times 5 is 1.25. 1.25 times 12 equals to 15. We have a 12-minute basketball. We have a 15-minute quarter. We have 15 minutes. What is the difference between 15 and 20? In 20, we have hockey, the halftime of what is 60 to equate the equality between what is 15 and 20, and also what is 20, right? The 20th letter is T. There are 4 parts of T. And when they go 4 parts of T, it's a little bit funny, but they say it's a party. You know, everybody's having, hey, come to the party, you know. Well, T is what is 4 times 5 equals to 20, and can be noted at what is 10 times 2 equals to 20. When you use the word 10, in my better understanding, if my better logic surpasses me, is that 10, everything moves up a rung. You move up 10% using 10, meaning that if I count to 9, I'm only going to be where I am. For instance, pick any number, pick a number 23. 3 plus 2 equals to 5. Add 9. 23 and 9, 32. 3 plus 2 equals to 5. I went nowhere. So pick 10. 23 plus 10, 33. 3 and 3 is 6. 2 and 3 is 5. I went up 1. So I don't want to call it 10%. I just went up around 1 piece and part above the number I was. That's what 10 does. Also, what the difference is in a different aspect is that the difference between 10 and 11 is the halfway point on 3 dice, okay, is 10 and 11. 3 being the lowest and 18 being the highest. So if you wanted to start understanding anything between 3 and 18, understand low, high. 7 plus 3, 10. 7 plus 11, 18. The difference of 1, there's a corridor between 10 and 11. Maybe we'll just call it blackjack and say everything's on the up and up. 1.5 times 6 equals to 9, making your equation of coming from the umbilical world into the world of breath equate to all the same at 1.5. The game is blackjack. Ace equals to 11 to your basis of creation. So I don't think it's proper that I use creation as the word. It is proper if you understood the context better. That is the numeric value creation, not the human creation. Okay. I was listening to myself speak, okay, and I'm coming off wrong. Even if you'd like to associate it another way on your part, that is quite fine. I need to stay impartial in my deduction, okay, of what's going on in front of me. When I spoke about the 420 over here, is what happens is Venus has multitudes of houses. The exterior of all this cube in all, right, is all partaking of Venus. My question is, can Venus end up on the cross? And is the crossing an area space? For instance, this area space is void. But now I go to the area space and I encompass it. And inside the area space, I now put a transmitter between and I divide up that area space. You remember that area space? Ends up to be now that area space. Two houses, one on the left, one on the right. I know it looks a little weird, right? But you see the cube is not this way, right? The cube is this way, like this. Going from one house to the next house. Living on the cross between the two houses. Now there's different ways to try and understand me from how I have to envision what I am saying, not only because of what I'm thinking, because I am only what I am thinking, is because of all the stories that have ever been written that I have been indoctrinated with, to the words in advertising, groceries, what's in my food, what's, like I said, back to what's on television, to the kinds of tires that were made, to the width of a tire, how much air should go into my tire for the 4 tires on my car, to the 3 tires on the tricycle, or whatever it is, wherever there's a tire, whatever turns around. What does it mean to turn around? What's the difference between a square and a circle? Do we play square ball, baseball? I don't know. Can you call this a baseball? If I rounded out all the corners, right? Right, because this is almost like a baseball. It has 1, 2, 3 sides. And then, right, it has 1, 2, 3 sides, and then it has 1, 2, 3 sides. Right, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So that's 27 and 27 equals to 54. Do you know how many outs there are in a baseball game? By the way, we're coming up to the baseball season. Get out your peanuts and hot dogs. We're ready for the 7th inning stretch because I'm looking for angels in the outfield. I want to know what street you're on. Because in the 7th inning stretch, does anybody else know what's going on? The Angels are actually in the outfield. This is what happens in the 7th inning stretch. This is what's happening in the, now think about this, wait a second. Okay, this is the 7th inning stretch now. Did you go to the bathroom? Because we're coming in, they got the screen in the background. They're going to show you like the 7th inning stretch. I mean, that's what I should really do. I should put this in the background and put it on a dark screen, not like being in this yellow house over here or something. You ready for it? All corners touch an outside of a circle. All corners touch outside of a circle geometry. All corners touch out. Okay, because I'm very, very visual, and even after you show me, I sometimes still have to get it in. Are you talking about squaring off a circle, interior and exterior? 26 letters in the alphabet, the extended alphabet, A through Z added up together is 27. If you want to square it off at 27 and ending up at Y after Z equals Y, or any other theology, or one of the reasons that it could be I is the 27th letter, 2 and 7 equals to 9. We can talk about that, but right now it's only 6 that we were brought up with, being the children of the Creator under the breath of the Creator. Let's not get too smart, because the stupider I am, the better I feel, the more I think that I can know logically, other and rationally, over the basis of the understanding only of the difference, and not because of what somebody else said, other than the complete differences of what everybody says, and not just one but all others. Where was I with this? You know, I forgot my glass of water upstairs, but that's going to be okay for a minute. So let's get back to a couple of these. So what happens is I don't use 10. 10 brings you back to the beginning again. When you do the rotation of numbers, except for 3, 6, and 9. Like I said, except for 3, 6, and 9. Remember we were on the 741? Just give me a second. Let me go back to that. I want to explain that. I didn't finish. When we spoke about this, the 7 months, the 4 months. So this is the basis of our creation, the rotation of our cycle of months. Okay. This one over here. And if you take a look, there's a 3 difference between this one and this one and this one and this one. Now, what's next from this one, okay, is what is 2, 5, and 8. It becomes 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. Okay, and if you notice, there is no 3, 6, and 9 inside of this. So it becomes 2 times this and then 3 times this, and look where we are. And then 3 times this, and look where we are. We need 1 and 2 in the basis of this understanding, in the rules and regulations through games, through the game theory that I'm working with. Okay, 3 strikes, you're out. 3 strikes in bowling, all matches up into the first frame. The 4th strike goes into the 2nd frame. First frame is over, maximum 30. Yes, if it's 5 pin, it'd be 45. Yes, there are many other games. If you want me to do them all, I wouldn't be in the position I am today. I skim across the top. I took the skeleton and I created a little bit more of the I gave the skeleton a little bit of a skin as I kept going into the future, and I knew I didn't have to do anything. I just needed to understand the equations that were happening in order to understand the numerics and the stories that are going on. I'm not sure if I'm explaining myself correctly or not. It's not my forte. XXXY chromosome. I can show you a few pieces of the crisscrossing lines that create this in numbers. If you take a look at the roulette wheel, right? If you go to roulette and take a look at the betting board, take a look in the black and the red, you're going to see there's going to be 2 X's, there's going to be 2 Y's, okay? And in between the X's and the Y's, there's going to be other connections, but I'm going to have to show you, or you're going to have to go to my page, Mr. Tackpans, and try to find it through one of the, thousands of pictures. But this is roulette. This is from the roulette table. Also to note that the minute you put 2 circles over each other, they create X's. If you're creating without a protractor and you're creating exact occupational space, you're going to create squares. And when you create these squares over each other, you create X's. Even when you create 2 X's next to each other, you're going to create a square. So this is the famous XO, right? So I create two X's, and in between I get the O. And then here I create the O, and then I create two X's. And then I get the O, and these end up to be two C's. Or if you want, because of this creation, you have COC. At the same time, if you looked at it this way, right, it would be a V. Now you can say, now there's a lot of mirror reflections in which, in the mirror reflection, do not count the entire mirror. Do not count the entire mirror. Only up to a certain area can you. The reason for that, I have to find out where in my head I've seen this. Number one, 4 is going to be a completion. So if you go up to 3 parts or 3/4, whether it's to the belly, like when you're looking at the picture cards, and the reason I said it is because this design over here, right? I'm going to tell you to look at this and forget about this part now. And just look at this. That would be an eye looking that way, or that would be an eye looking that way. You know, it's almost like if I said, what if I now added on these two lines here and this line here? You see now that area in the center is actually a passing area. I can just take this pen, right? You see that angle and just pass through it. So this whole thing turned on an angle. It's like a little bit of an illusion. Follow what I'm saying? So when we get back to the 741, right, it's the 3, okay, that rules everything. The 3 makes everything perfect. It brings everything to 369 in rule. It even tells us that we run that rule in our cycles. It even tells us, okay, that we will run a cycle of 3, then 1, equaling to a 4 cycle. And then we'll run a 3 again, okay, equals to 7, and then 1 again, and start over again. See the Pisces of 12, right? See where the Pisces is? Pisces is not the same as anything else. Pisces is not the same. Pisces is alpha, beta in 1. Otherwise, it's Aquarius. Aquarius is the basis, is like Kansas City, KC. The K and the P letter. This is another thing I want to get back to. The C or the 3, the C or the 3, the P is the 7, the P is the 16th letter. I said Christmas because Christmas is 7733. I also said that this can be what is 40 or 49. I want to get to, this is where the whole thing started with 741. I wanted to explain 741, which also can be noted Aries, 14 would be Taurus, 15 would be Gemini, 16 would be Cancer. Okay. So what happens over here is 6 and 1 is 7. 1 and 3 is 4. 1 plus 0 is 1. I also turn this around and I try to see if there's a possibility that it has a reason to fit somewhere in the zodiac, somewhere under the stars, under the constellations, somewhere that's linked to one of the planetary, okay, one of the planets out there, perhaps Pluto. Pluto forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Forever green. So when I use, let me see where we were over here. Yes, okay. Why am I using this? Because they get reduced to these numbers. Why did I call Capricorn 10? Why did I call Aries 13? Because Aries is 1, we don't start. The beginning of 0 is the complete area space that will be occupied by the numeric value. And then area space will get chopped up itself and will have a location of an area value downstairs in the den over to the left underneath the stairs. So this one over here, when you run around the zodiac sign, Aries into Aries, 13, and then Cancer into Cancer, okay, 16. 1 and 6 equals to 7. Look at that. Cancer falls under, look at that, when Cancer comes around the first time, it falls under the gates of, that's right, Libra. That's right, look at that. Aries falls under Cancer. Look at that. Aries might also fall under Capricorn. Do you see why? Do you understand why? It also says Christmas. Now, if you want to understand the 77 and 33, I'll explain that to you. I need to be able to equate, to bring everything down to its base value of 1. Okay, bring it down to its base value of 1. Okay, I'm going to bring it down to this. If I want to bring it down to its base value of 2, I will bring it to this. If I want base value of 3, okay, I'm gonna do 3, 6, 9. So this over here, okay, if you show me any number, I want to come up with this. So if I want to come up with 7 from 2, I'll add 5. If I want to come up with 7 from 5, I'll add 2. If I want to come up with 7 with 8, I'll add another 8. 8 and 8 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. Now, since I'm going to be looking for 7, 4, or 1 with, I wanted to show you with 7 and 3. So with 7, I will be moving 0, 9, 4, and 3. And with 4, I will be moving 3 and 6. And I will be moving 3 and 1. And then this one over here, I will be moving 7 and 3, 6, and 3, 2, 7. Okay. This is what's going to happen. Check this out. Why did I say 749? Because what happens is when I have this 7, and I want to go back to 7, I will either add 0 or I will add 9. 7 and 9 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. But in this instant, it says birth within the mother at the 7th gate. 7 and 9 do not reside in the same area space. 7 resides in area of 1, 4, and 7. I don't remember if it's cardinal, mutable, or a fixed sign. I don't remember which one, but they all run in their own gateways. If you want to run with the air, when you want to run with fire or earth, okay, it's going to chop this way. They chop by force, right? And when they're chopping, okay, the first 3 zodiac signs, when you chop the first fire, we chop the fire. Once we chop the fire this way, we run in a straight line on a 45 degree, it possibly is a 45 degree angle, but we run on this angle and we chop from 1 to 5 to 9. Did you know that? Did you know that the fire sign, here's your fire signs, A, E, I. Do you know what happens with your fire sign? Your healing vibration and the altar of the healing vibration is here and here. Between A and E and I is the holder of all your vibration. And if you're going to be talking fire, you better mention Area 51. Because that's where this resides. And within that is the Jack, Queen, King. And with that, okay, that's your regeneration, the power source, the Vatican gates. couple of weeks ago, what was it, in January, right? When they switched the system off, they're playing with your emotions. You have to be strong. Not only, not only, not only, not only, I only do numbers, but I also have to share with you that if I was to look into the newspapers and listen attentively with my ears to the TV, for 60 years, I'm watching the TV at 6 o'clock, at 11 o'clock, and I'm listening to Archie Bunker at night talking about these people and those and these and those, and listening to the debates. And I'm scratching my head, and these people are voters. And I'm scratching my head and I'm saying, oh my God, this one says that way, that one says that way. I'm looking at both ways. Both sides are completely, there is absolutely zero logic on both sides. Both sides will never win because there's too many problems in the discussion. First of all, what they're discussing about is not logical because nothing that is happening within their discussion or what they're discussing about, but with what they're discussing about, everything has no logic to it. It doesn't make any sense at all. When you break things down, they say, take care, put on your mask first, save your house first, save your town first, go out and save those around you first, complete the air bubble first, take care of the child first, help those who are in need, but help yourself first so you have the chance to help the others in need first. And I don't see any of this. I only see what I have seen in the movies. There was a movie I watched many, many years ago. There was this gentleman, I think his name was, he was a young fella. I think his name was like Jesus or something like that. He was like in the village of Bethlehem. He's like throwing things around and trying to say this guy's nuts. And he was in the church there and he says, we don't do this stuff here. And I'm trying to say, they shouldn't be taking taxes and she shouldn't be playing the policeman. So why did he show up there? What was the real story? How can I find a story that is unbiased to both sides of the story of why this person, why they wrote about a person who went down into the temple of wherever it was and threw everything upside down? Did he think he was me? You know what? Like, I'm thinking now, I think Jesus might have known me today because that would have been what I would do. You know that? I think he was acting on my behalf 2,000 years ago because I couldn't be there. I've been rushing, I've been waiting for the U-turn, to go back there, waiting for the dead end, you know what I'm saying? Getting to the end of the road. It's funny, you get to the end of the road, what happens, right? It's so freaky. Think of it this way. You get to the end of the road of life, they dig a hole, they put you in it. You're not going nowhere. I mean, what happens? You go up and every single day? Is that what you see? How do you see it? See, I see it a little bit different. I see it as they take this away, right? And by the time this goes down, you've done, that loop to loop. You ever go to like these parks and they do the loop to loop? That's how the life is. When you start to do the loop to loop and they put you down, you've left the body and you're on to the next dimension of the same series. In fact, you can begin right now, and it begins in your sleep. It begins in your emotions. It begins within your own vibration and between your own visions within inside yourself. You must trust what you see within inside your head. It's so amazing, and you can get lost. I mean, ask those who are schizophrenic today. Ask those who have visions. I'm going to get a glass of water, but before I go up, Angelique, just give me 2 minutes. I'm going to get a glass of water. I'm going to be coming down. And I don't want to make too much noise because you think he'll wake up? Hey, Joe, I'm going upstairs for water. Hello, I'm going upstairs for water. I'm going upstairs for water. Can you get me a cup too? Should I get you some? What would wake you up? If I give you $100 trillion, would you get up? Don't bother me. What if I gave you everything you ever wanted? I already got it. Don't bother me. What if I gave you more than you can ever have? Please leave me alone. All I want us to do is rest. There you go. Don't bother the dog. I'll be back in 2 minutes. I'm sort of on a short time. I got to charge this thing, and I just did a bad thing. I just borrowed my nephew's plug. I'm just praying that he's sleeping right now and not watching me from his bedroom. There's a possibility he is. I am going to be shot. I must return his plug upstairs because this must be the beginning of my forgetful week. I forget this here, I forget that there. Okay, let me see where we were. First, let me check out what I didn't go through yet. I'm just going to go through the comments, and first let me check this out. Okay, I'm just going through Clint. I can tell you about it, and before I had several demons tormenting me during sleep paralysis. Yeah, you know what? I think it's like, I'm going to go 30 somethings, 5 to 40 years ago. Oh, I'd say, no, over 40 years ago. I had the craziest dreams of those demons. It was crazy. Got scared, but then when I went back to sleep, I said, I said, Jesus, I said, oh my God. I said, that was the most amazing thing. I know it's not real, and I wanted to dream it again. And it was really, really weird. Anyways, when I look at the demons now, it's something to do with the sun and the moon, for the reason that DE is 4 and 5. It's female. It's also related, sun related. I'm not really sure how that's become sun related, because it's just funny how the male is the gateway that gives the life. It's a corridor between 3 and 4, between Earth and Mars, and it's the electric company. It's related between the sun, the moon, and the oceans. We are part of that ocean world. It has to do with something to do with electrons. The reason I say that is electric company is 78, 75. Electric is 75. The moon is 57, 75. There's an area you can look up. It is called Orphan Roulette. If you look it up, you'll see 2 area spaces which have an accumulated of numbers of one side 57 on the other side, 75. On the side of 57, it'll be 3 numbers. On the side of 75, it'll be 5 numbers. It'll be 5 by 15 or 3 by 25. You come here, you get 25 years to life, and that's on area standard in Monopoly number 30 plus 1, as go equals to 1 part of the equation that is not counted when you begin the game. So I'm not sure when I read Had to Be a Genius, I'm not sure how far back on Nooks and Cranny. I'm not sure if we're talking about the piece where whoever created this place had to be a genius in order to put these mathematics together in order to tell the story. Not even the mathematics to tell the story, but the mathematics themselves. The mathematics of what is 7, 7, 7, 11, 11, 11. I'm not sure if you know that story, right? The mathematics of the cube, the math that goes along with this is impeccable. Okay, it's just perfect math. Just logical, perfect, easy, simple to figure out. You can say, yes, you created it. You can say man-made, but it all goes back to the very beginning if you listen to the argument. And then I come in to say, for you born into the house under the breath of whom delivers this breath upon you, that you say it is the Lord that giveth you the breath. Then therefore, what is it that you breathe? You say that within the waters is the memory. So that is what you are breathing. Are you breathing the memory? Are you breathing the live conscience? Are you reading the word of the creator within the ark, the supporter, the one in which that breathes within? Okay, within your own vortex, let's call this the soul incoming within the soul, within inside the womb in the house, right? You bring within you, what is it the spirit? Is it the true spirit? Is there a pirate spirit? Has the spirit been altered? What is the spirit? Is it the delivery service? That there's something wrong with the mail? That when you receive your 101 documentation, you're not actually receiving 101. I'm just using this as, when I'm saying 101, what I'm saying is when you receive the letter in the mail digitally, right? It possibly could be altered. There might be something a little bit extra on it. Maybe 1 word out of 1,000 might alter one of your thoughts that will disturb you for the rest of your day. It doesn't take much. I believe that in this world that we are being consumed by, meaning, well, obviously you're being consumed, you're getting older and eventually everything decays, so you're being consumed over time. And now I lost my train of thought. Wow, not fun. Okay, so let me move on. For whoever is truth that is not amongst the people means nothing, that amongst the people are the people. So if we are to walk the path of the righteous one, it means do not get into anybody's way that you would not want in your own way. But we also have to understand whose logic is right, who has the knowledge of the logic, who knows how to discuss, who knows how to eviate an argument and keep things under the rules of a discussion. How do we know how to judge our words while they're being spoken, and then to judge, to understand how to receive the words that were spoken or that are speaking to, you know? Okay, so, okay, wait, I'm just backing this up. Thank you, Michelle, for the dogs. Not my dogs. Not my dogs. I can't afford the dog food. Okay, I can barely afford the cat food right now. But that's not nice of me to shed that out. But I'm just giving my tip off to my help support the channel fund. Okay, so hold on a second. Have I broken down the alphabet? I'm still working on it. The only way to completely get to an area where I'm going to say I broke down the alphabet is I'm working on breaking down the alphabet. And I'll give you a few references and why I say it the way I do, without enough judgment or discussion, right? When I say judgment, meaning is it possibly logical that this can be the outcome? And for instance, if we go over the Roman numerals, right, and you take a look at the Roman numerals, so you have, what is it, 6 Roman numerals? M, D, C, L, X, V, 1, 3, 3, 3. So there's 7 Roman numerals. And I like that because the 7 Roman numerals now can go with the 7 days a week and create an algorithm amongst it, right? Although there's no continuation to this, well, there's no continuation to the 7 days a week other than starting back on Sunday again, right? And other than understanding the separation between the days of the week, noting that it is a 3-1-3 basics, calling Wednesday the balancing beam between the two sides, even though 3 days have been done before and then 3 days are yet to come, it still keeps to the fact that that Wednesday will be that 4th day. So if you look at it, you can go 343. 3 days, 1 day, 3 days, with the 4th day being the actual 1 day, where 4 and 1 play the same role. You can go from Wednesday to Thursday to Friday to Saturday 4. You can go from Wednesday to Tuesday to Monday to Sunday 4. Right? So there's a couple of ways to look at how Wednesday is the heart of the week. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's beginning or ending, it is what it is. If we want to use the 6 days of the week, we might tilt that over to the proton, the neutron, the electron, and man coming on day 6. But as man arrived, man was the feature because it was land, animal, and man. Land, animal, and man. It was like there was four things that sort of happened. It was land, and the L means angle, or does it mean angel? Land, animal, okay, A-N, and man, animal, inside the same word. The only difference between animal and man is the A-N has the M put in the front, and the I-mal is taken off. But really, the I-mal actually in my head, it just right away makes me think of a little lamb, right? And I'm just trying to think that's something that came through the 3rd gate. Animal, the M is the expression for that. The M, the 13th letter, it brings 2 systems together. It is the first one of its kind, and it's also in the family of the first of their kind. Let me just push this back and see where I am. In the comments, I'm going to explain this. What does it mean to be in the first of its kind? The D4, the M13, and the V22 are very special. They're all in the 4th house. 4, 4, and 4. They're all a Roman numeral. 500, 1005, 1505. It just so happens that every Roman numeral is right over here. There's all the Roman numerals. This is all the numbers, okay, that equal to what the Roman numerals are right here. 3 and 1, yes, 3 and 1, 3 and 1, and 3 and 1. 11 times 11 times 11, 1331. M is 1001. D is 500, 5. V is 5, 5. D opposite V. M bringing in 3 worlds. M has the V with inside of it. We need a medical doctor. We need a medical doctor, right? And then we got the 1500. Everybody starts with every single game, right? Everybody starts with 1500. I wonder why. What's going on in this, right? 13. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 equals 3 and 4, 7. It's a corridor, right? This one will create the heavens. The V, okay, to the left and to the right. I like to call this the razor blade. If I put this at the end of a pig, you might call it the split hoof. Also noted to be V5, right? It's a 22nd letter. The reverse is the E, right? The reverse of each one of these here, let me tell you the reverse of this. The reverse is C3. Just give me a second. I'm just for something. With all this said, is this and this run the same corridor, meaning there's one difference between here and here. Although the reverse alphabet of this is number 23, reverse alphabet of this one, but it runs the same corridor as C3. 13 reduced to 4 will again be running a corridor between N14 and M13. The alphabet split, the 26-letter alphabet split, come between the 13th and the 14th letter. It splits at 13.5135, right? 3 parts of Aries, right? Inside the house of Leo and Gemini. And then the last one over here. 5 and 4. See this one? 5 and 4. This one is 5 and 4. And this one's supposed to be number 23. They're all going to be 5 and 4. All going to be related to a passage. All going to be related to something to do with the female. Also to do with the electronics, the IT system. Yes, number 29. Very important. Yes, I forgot about that. 4554. Very important. But I still didn't finish explaining the 741. So to bring this back to itself, I add 9 to it. 7 and 9 is 16, 1 and 6 is 7. The 4 over here, you remember I said, the number 3 for the CC? Well, I add 4 over to 3 to equal to the 7. So I can use 4 and 9. Also the 4th planet, the 9 birth, right? And then over here for the 4 to get to number 7, I get 3 over here. If I wanted to, I'm just trying to figure out what the other number was. If I wanted 3 to get over to 4, I add 1 onto this one over here. Trying to see what the other one was. The 7 over to 4 is, 7 minus 3 is 4. But 7 plus 6 is 13. 1 and 3 is 4. So you can go both ways with this. Do you follow what I'm saying? 3 and 6 is 9. You can go both ways with this also. So these two can be used when the association of the number does not need to be moved. And all 9s will then invert into a 6 as your birth inverts to a 6. Also to note that anything to do at 9 is not just as you believe it is, because how many ways, hold on a second. How many ways are there to create 9? Can you show me another way? Those are all your 9s. So we used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we used 2, 3, and 4 again. So in this over here, this is where your vibration comes into play. This is where this is, if you were going to have compression in there, that would fill the gap of that area space. These cubes here, what you see is, how can I explain it? It's for me, it's a schematic that I'm still learning to understand, only because I'm not completed with my stories, and only those who can use the stories will tell me whether it functions or not. How would I know? I don't create the entire planet. I only learn where these are, and I'm saying, does anybody know where this belongs? Hello, I picked the bingo number. Who needs it? I probably play the only bingo game that I'm here like 17 hours still looking for. Anybody need 386.4 somewhere in Houston? So yeah, let me get back. I'm still want to go through the comments, but if you're still out there and still want to come up, I just have to be fair to everybody. And I okay, we're here. Okay, all corners touch the outside of a circle. Well, you know what? There's 4 parts, 23 chromosomes. There's separation between 23 and 24. In fact, it's the same corridor between 3 and 4. The reason for that is the reverse alphabet of the reverse alphabet of 3 is of 23 is 4, but there's a corridor between 3 and 4, and the corridor is created by my understanding is 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals to 6. When you add 4, it equals to 10. Everything flips over. So when I invert it to the other side of the alphabet, it becomes the 23rd and the 24th letter. So everything divides between the 23rd and the 24th letter, or it's in the same corridor. Wow. Oh, I'm so far behind. Oh, you know what it's the thing about the TV, and it's so hard for me to sort of judge whether or not, and he said, they said, we said, other than to what I believe, whether or not, are we being changed? Are we being altered? Is it making us sicker? Will it make me think differently because I don't have one? Is there internet in the house? And all these things alone can drive you batty. So since I can't stop everything and I'm losing too much of my time, or should I dedicate my time to where I am now, other than to spread myself so thin as I already am, and hopefully use my best logic to, when the person who is going to help me with this, or help find out how to stop all these energies around you, because I am in that environment. I am letting myself be in that environment. And you know what? Right now, I like where I am. There's a room right behind me. It's the cold room for the potatoes and stuff. And just when for if they're the flooding and stuff for those pumps. So it's pretty much bricked up. And if I go in there, my phone won't work. So I like being in this corner. It feels good. And you know what? These guys, I'm not sure if you can see, Sleepy 1 and Sleepy 2. Right? Sleepy 1 and Sleepy 2. They like, if I make one move, it's like I just have to like really be quiet. So let me go back. I'm getting through all this. All corners, Z0 nothing, Z dash 0 nothing. 0 itself. I have a few ways to look at 0. I'm not sure if it's 0 or close to Nero, because if I was reading it like this, it looks like Nero. But 0 in itself is 64. Otherwise, Nero or Arrow or ozone, if you want to look at it, 33 and 5 is 38, 48, 52. Is that what it was? 14 and 5 is 9. Yeah, 52. So Nero, okay, 64, 52. Right. What was I doing? Take off 12. Right. 64, 52. Right. So the 52 cards in the deck, and then boom, all of a sudden another 12. You got 64. And 46, 64 is Elon Musk, believe it or not. The 23rd president, right, can be looked at as same as looking at as the last one, Bill. No, what was his name there? The blue guy. Um, the guy, the last president of U.S. What was his name? Doug, Bill, Don. No, the Don's the one that's now. What's his name? Hold on a second. Wow, am I embarrassed? Right? Anyways, um, Grover Cleveland was the 22nd and 24th president. I think McKinley was the 23rd president. And if you double 23, you get the 46. And that was the last president. And now Donald Trump replicates 45 and 47 equals to 92. Believe it or not. Right. 47 is the time beast. 47 is a reduction of what is above 47, what will create mathematically 47 is 5 and 7, 57, 75. 5 times 7, 5 plus 7 is 12, and 35 equals to 47. So coming the closest number to touching the electronics of the moon, right, is Donald. And his name, okay, on his ballot box for his texting is 88022. Okay, it's the same configuration of the constellations, the Monopoly game, the dartboard, right? I'm gonna have to get more water in a minute, but for those who do not understand or know what this is the game of Monopoly. Uh-oh. Give me a minute. I have to go replace this thing before I get in trouble. Just give me a minute. I'll come back. I gotta put this away. I'll be back. So I don't, and I, sorry, I do not know everybody that makes all the exchanges, right? But so far in the algorithm, the gimel and the gamma as the third letter between the Hebrews and the Greeks versus the C letter, which is really not even a name unless you want to mark SEE for the C letter, is what is in our alphabet, what looks like what should be a C sound is a G sound equaling to the seventh letter. C between G, 3 and 7 equals to 10. It's part of the connection to the 10 system, to the Capricorn system. What is the Capricorn system? It's ABC and the corridor connection, 2D. And that is what equals to 10. 10 equals to Capricorn. The house is split up as 414. We have the one area space equaling to what I like to call the E worlds, electronic worlds, the oceans. That one area space, which is at the heart in the 5 position, you connect 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. Skip the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. The upper world, 30. The lower world, 10. All connected by 5. Only A, B, C, D. All it is needed for 10. And then 5. And you have your je. You have your 1 times 5, 2 times 5. You have your alpha beta creation through the electronics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't need anything more to have the gateways. Now you bring them through the gate. Also, 3 over to 7 is an air sign, and 7 over to 10 has to do with one of the cardinal signs. Now, when you write about splitting the atoms, I know nothing about science, but when I do put the combination together, Tom and Jerry, Tommy the pinball wizard, Tom the turkey, Tommy 3, Adam, T20 015, 3.5, AT location 21 cube. Now, I wish I would know a little bit more, and even if I knew more, I would have to know so much more about splitting the atom. My question is, why have they failed up to now? Second thing is, have they succeeded yet with the HEART transplants? Is there a comprehension fully between the breath and the carbon dioxide, the exalting of the breath. Has anybody ever tried to read what is the sequence of the breath? Why is the heart beating at 72? How deep can we inhale? What is a regular breath like? What is the study? The only reason I'm saying this is because being pushed across the algorithm right now into most who are listening to what I am hearing is about the carbon tax, the carbon. So I have to put myself in another world. Do they really mean carbon? Are they really talking about that? Are they really talking about electronics communications, right? And a carbon copy. Does it have something to do so far up in the complete reversion of carbon would be to geoengineering something, because carbon starts with C and geoengineering starts with G. So right away I'm starting to see there's a perfect reality to why use the letter C. And we all know alpha beta comes into creation, and that's where C is. The breath in the house we live, if I understand this correctly, and if all those who are religious have a personal relationship with the Creator, right, then I'm going to go on your side right now and try and understand that we only live because of the breath. The breath, the air that we breathe is in my game, in my understanding, in order for us to have this personal relationship, there has to be a direct relationship in the breath itself. Who owns this breath? It's not my breath. I was born into this. So this is actually, when I breathe in, it's actually telling me it's like a puppet. It's like my breath that goes in here that looks like a jack hook. It's like I'm on the hook. I'm on the hook 25 years to life. Give me 2 life sentences. 1, 2. How many life sentences you want? 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me 4 life sentences. I'm going to live to 100. What do I do if I got leftovers? What if I get to 90 and I took a 4 life sentence for 100? Can I send somebody my 10 extra years, or do I get paid in cash? I'll take the Bitcoin, you know what I'm saying? Extra change in my pocket. Keep me from floating in outer space, you know. I don't want to be floating in outer space. You know what? The end of life is going to be like going to the park. It's going to be zip. And I'm going to say, hey, you left my body over there and I'm still going. Road runner, beep, beep. I still got that connection going all the time. Hey, Ken, how's it going? Yeah, it's most definitely not man-made in my opinion. It's too genius. Yes. Oh, man, I'm so far behind, but these comments, just hold on. No, I do not read the Bible. Others have read to me, and I just looked at it just for to go over where that algorithm fits into the basic algorithm of life. And that's where I can get my connection through others, right? Only when I can connect. Me reading myself, I can go this way, 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 I can go this way. Or if 20 different people tell me something about the same thing, I can tell them my opinion, and that discussion, every single person is going to open up like a little gate. So we'll have a little dimension of one of the words. Like when I go, if I have to take the alphabet for a walk, I need a train behind me, because every single letter, every single number is telling multitudes of stories. The thing is, I'm only touched the surface of it all. tree of life, right? The tree bears fruit, so it must be female. The tree bears fruit, bears fruit. So bear just means alone, that it doesn't bear it all the time. Oh, I can't bear you anymore. What would that expression mean? Can a male bear fruit? So there are certain things in this world where um, like something, oh, I have the right to bear arms, right? Well, I don't, so I'm just trying to understand that association. And actually, that's true, what you're saying. I'm just playing around with that. And don't you see inside the word Sabbath is the word Abba for father, the spirit and teacher, right? The TH, do you know anything about TH? Man, at 13, it's the first time the teens, right? At 4, you come to fourth. It's the first time after 3, which is third, which is bronze, to whereas fourth, which is runner up, which man is 13, and the 13th moon is like the first moon, because the algorithm ends on 12. 13 is when man is 13. 999,999 creates, divided by 13 equals to what is 76,923, I think, something like that. I just want to see exactly if that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 divided by 13 equals to. Create 3 and 1. Whoa, man, I just skipped through a whole bunch. Wow. So let me do you read the Bible? The spirit of Mother Nature. So there's always a question in Mother Nature itself. Now, if the father world can be real, why can't the mother world be real? So there's a big touchy thing over there. But again, you can take the whatever the father did and created within the realm of the nature of things, right? Taking what was this and taming everything, taming the tigers, you know what I'm saying? Controlling the winds, controlling the fire, controlling the elements, right? Putting a little bit of emotion amongst all the elements, and then putting an enclosure, what I like to call is the bubble spring system, that constantly on the outside we don't know what's going on. Maybe we're just living in a television set. Maybe there couldn't be any more. Maybe this of who we are couldn't be living on the outside. Maybe it's not for us. It's not for this, at least, right? Imagine if nature is just running wild, and we're playing at the top of the dome on this, and we're just like these little atoms, tiny little atoms, just keep rebuilding. As the outside is destroying our house, we're just rebuilding it, and we're gathering in all the stones. What are these stones? Well, whatever is hitting us is only energy on the outside of the dome. There's just so much energy everywhere. We're just picking it up everywhere. But what if we consume all the energy on the outside and we create its continuous on the inside? Would the outside dry up? Right? So that's just a weird question. I don't even like to get into, because it's too weird and, I don't know, a bit scary, so I just like the magic that's inside this house. Circle female, straight line male. So if the male runs into the circle, is it a solid circle? And is it going this way? Which way is it going? Is it going like on that angle? Because if it's going on an angle, the 45-degree angle, that's the same angle as the hat of the queen. So if the male is running through the queen's house or running the rivers, we can put a triangle around the circle. I've never tried that before, right? Putting a triangle inside of a circle. But then if I did that, right? Now I could put the triangle on the outside of the circle. That I can do. And I can also put a square on the outside of the circle. Let me do this. Okay, I have to make a circle. So I have to start here and I have to make a circle. And then I have to go here, go here, go here, go here, go here, go here, go here. Now, if I made this circle, I would just have to do this. I'm just thinking to myself right now, you see, if I made a circle, I would have to do this, right? If I put a triangle, it would have to be like this. Or I'm just thinking on my own for a second. Just give me a second. Because of that, I would go here, I would go here, I would go here. It would more or less look like this at the end. See, I had the first triangle here, right? And then I extended it down to here, just like we did over here. Then I said, I'll do it from underneath. So instead of running the triangle, so I either run the triangles over it, right? Or I run the square around the circle. Now, once you do this, you know what the weird thing is, right? Running the triangles is that when I run the triangles, check this out. There's a big box over here. There's a huge box here and then a smaller box here, two different directions. I like to call this one Saturn square. And one of the reasons I call this Saturn square is because all the corners, right, is 9, 7, 3, and 1. All the corners, 9, 7, 3, and 1. In Saturn square, they all move like that. 2, 4, 6, 8 all change positions. So there's 2 or 3 different ways they can happen. I'd have to take a look at it. It's a little confusing to me still. 3, 9, you can follow A through Z, 1 through 26, 1 through 24. So if you count 1 through 24, noting that, and that's funny because once you stop at 24, if I, hold on, 23, 24, 23 onto that side of 24, that would be 47, 24, 23, no, it would be 46, 46. The only, could be a possible reason for the 24th letter or one extra letter other than 23 is because in order to close off the end of an area space is between 23 and 24. So 23 goes all the way to 24. It's like starting over again. Perhaps it's the 24th hour. Anyways, 1 through 24 equals to 300. 3 and 9 angels, the lower world and the upper world, 3 to 1. So 39 is the same as 13. Or if you want to look at the lower world and the upper world, 1 and 6 is 7. The difference between 1 and 6 is 5. The difference between 9 and 4 is 5. 9 and 4 is 13. 6 and 1 is 7. See, 13 up, upper, 7 on the lower. Well, if I'm too quick, Michelle O'Brien, I'm sorry for talking quick. Sometimes I need people to slow me down, actually most of the time. And a lot of times I forget, so I need a little bit of guidance, meaning that once I begin to start to go down a street, I need to continue because I have the vision, even if it's part of the memory that I've already understood how it works. Sometimes there's always a little dust I pick up on the side of the road. Saw what as a triangle 3, 6, 9. I'm not really sure where we are, but there's a lot of 3, 6, and 9 are really huge in this. And there's other things other than 3, 6, and 9 because 3 equals to 11 equals to 2 or 11, whichever one you want. I like to call it the animal house. House where spirit and soul get intertwined amongst between the electronics, waterworks, and electric company, because you come from the womb of the mother into this house. Again, we're back to a 70% water, and inside the air we breathe, etc. 3.1 pi kind of thing. So anyone, 1 and 3, very big. 11 times 11 times 11 is 1331, Michelle or Michael. But I'm not sure of what the question is. Yeah, a lot of connecting the dots and then to understand the conjunction or configuration of it. Yeah, frequencies. Like, I know nothing about frequencies, but again, doesn't matter where you go in the world. If you want to talk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then that's all there is, right? So we just have to understand what are we using the numbers for? Why do we need these numbers? What happens if the number was different? What if you cook the French fries on a hotter oil? What if you use avocado oil instead of using mineral oil? Or what if you try to cook your French fries in a deep fryer and put the oven too hot? So we have to understand what the breakdowns are of our oils and the carcinogens that go along with it, etc., that go onto our body. So there's a lot of holistic sciences, because everything has been turned so upside down, because everything is holistic. Not anymore, right? No, they took away all the reality and they turned it into, I don't know, like some kind of a mad science. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it quicker and faster. No, let's do it right. Remember, it doesn't pay to do anything quicker. Does anybody know why? Because everything that costs something only costs something because of those who put their hard labor into it. The only price that is paid is your time and your labor. The only cost is life. Money doesn't die, only you do. What's here on this planet stays on this planet, but you don't. You are the hard labor. The women bring us into this world through their hard labor, and we put our life to this hard labor. We have to understand the perspective of where we actually are, what the real truth is, what the dynamics or the curvature, if you really want to talk about flat earth, think about our reality. I'm not okay. The frequency of breath. I mean, if we can get into that. 738. So what does that mean? So I'd have to understand that I'm going to look at that. Okay, the breath between the gateway amongst the houses. The 7th gate is amongst this cube. This cube, okay, is 7, 11. All opposite sides are both 7 and both 11. In this game, I understand we play with 2, we play with 3. I think we play up with, I'm not really sure how many dice, but I'll try and do as many as I could. And each amount of dice for different reasons. Could be bowling, where it's 10 pin. The other thing to understand, if we haven't looked at this yet, and I will get into the basis for those. Has everybody learned anything about these items over here? Does anybody know that these are actually scriptures, or what do you call it? This is what do I call this? Man, I call it. I don't know. I don't remember what it is. Maybe I'm tired, but a schematic. Schematic, right? They're only skeletons. There's more to it. There's more to it. So 38 is for club. 8 is 2 times 2, 2 plus 2. 3 is 1 times 1, 1 plus 1. It's part of the master numbers of this cube. 7 and 8. 7, forget about the 7, because I just want to take away the 7 for now. Is I like to understand the 0.38 where I can get this. I'm just trying to see where I can find this number. 1, 2, divide 19, 19, 19, 19. Okay, so the cycle of 131 passes in this. Okay, two 19s to get to 38. It took 66 and 44. Okay, 6 and 6 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3, 4 and 4 equals to 8. I'm just trying to see all the ways I can create this, right? I need to understand this. 4 times 9 is 36 plus 2. I don't like that equation because I don't know anything. Oh, yes. Okay, inside the house of Bates. Okay, that's all I see with this. So 83 is monkey. This is telling me, okay, and it's so flagrant, right? It's so flagrant. It's before. Remember, 3, okay, runs the corridor of 4. 8 runs the heavens of 1. There's 1 area, 8 that go around. 2 times 2, 2 plus 2. There are 4 on the inside and 4 odd ones on the outside, equaling to your 4 and 4. The next one is 1 times 1, 1 plus 1. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 is 1 and 2 equals to 3. Now you have your 3 and 8, 11. You know what the reverse of 3 and 8, 11 is? Is 1 and 8, 9. So I know you're 1 heart in the 8 heavens. That's how I expressed it to you. If I flip it upside down, it becomes 7 to 9 to what is 9 to 11. It takes 1 and 2 to create. You remember what we just did? 3 and 8 came down to 1. Now we run down to 2. I must run to create with these 2, Earth and Mars, 1 moon and 2 moons coming into the Earth creation. Do you think that this Earth moon, okay, is the Earth moon? It's the puppet moon. You don't ever get to see the moons of Earth, not unless you accept Mars. And once you accept Mars, they will clarify to you the moons of Mars. They will clarify they have brought them into orbit, or they associated, or they found them, but they're going to do something with them because they got to be one of the last pieces to the puzzle other than Route 15, Area 51, Las Vegas, tabulations of the tribulations of the tabulations of all the numbers that run through the constellations of Herbert Hoover, Grover Cleveland, Hoover Dam. It's just a vision so close to, oh boy, I'm still looking through. So if you're looking to come up, I definitely, before I get into a conversation, I must satisfy everybody, not just one. So close, 914 18 9, 9599, so closer, 914 18 9, 959. I'm not sure why you wrote that, but 5 and 9 actually, they're inverted on 2 cubes. It's not really how long we can hold it, but what is a safe amount of time, and what would be the benefits of holding our breath at all? But what I meant by our breath is that we're born into this house. We don't know what's in the air we breathe and how it keeps us living, and why if somebody told me why you really need to breathe, I'm going to see an alternative reason to it. I believe, and I don't have, and I don't remember, okay? And I may have, so I don't want to say I don't have, but I rather say I don't remember and rather say I don't have, and that I do have, I know I did do an equation somewhere that told me while I was scrying that is within the breath we take that giveth the life we have right now. It is our IP address. We rest in peace. We have an IP address. We have a home address for our computers. They lie us down at our death. They put us 6 feet down with a Capricorn stone, which is the pentagram, which is the number 5, which is the energy. We know it runs under Leo. We know it connects to Scorpio for the heavens that we came, for the power of the heavens, for the connection. They put the rooster on top of all the churches, talking about the weather vane. And the rooster is 110. It's a 10th zodiac sign. Again, another representation of the Capricorn stone, associating the birds in the heavens that don't fly. Remember, the bird is number 33, the fish is 42. They both consistently have the same numeric value of 6, so they're consistently connected to the same vibration of 6, right? It's a 3-letter word. It's going to equal to 81. It's going to be part of the heart system. What does that mean, the heart system? Here is the 1, 8 that goes around. There is only one number 1. Everything else is on the outside, here, 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 and here. My question is, when these two are apparent here, do they belong in the house of Aleph, right? Because they're on the center area. See, that's in the center area. If you take a look at the dice, those 4 corners and those 4 corners, and then you have these 2 and the empty space. See that? This is the only true 7. I'm going to see if I can point it through. That's the only true 7. See the one on the other side? Doesn't matter what I show you. That'll be 5. Oh yeah, take a look at this one. See that one? There's another one. It's the only one. Hold on a second. Look at that. But not when you do this one. Hold on a second. Take a look. Look at that. It's a 5. Take a look at the other side. Hold on. Look at that. That's a 5. I'm trying to cover up the other dots. It's got to be seen straight. All right. True, agreed. Atom, just flying everywhere. Yes. Matter cannot be destroyed, only transferred. The thing I brought up with the matter or atom before is because under the breath of life, that should they be able to split an atom, what they're trying on this planet, if my understanding is correct, there's a couple of things. First of all, one of them is we have a frequency that runs along with what they say is Abraham, ham radio, pork, swine, razorback, right? We have something to do. So splitting that atom will have something to do between the breath, oxygen, and the exhalation with the carbon dioxide that comes out of us. They are not able to, my understanding is they cannot match it and able to transfer that and get the receiver of the 5 or 6 or 8G in order to vibrate along with it to understand, to read the IP, or what I would call the breath of creation. So they need to get younger and younger and younger to understand that breath. So now a few years ago, when they called it, what went on is, again, back to respiratory. They need to understand the breath. Anything to understand the breath. They're desperate, running out of time. So I'd have to understand opposite acts at first, because I missed my own trend of thought that the comments are coming in and I'm way behind. So if you look 6 Cronus at time, are you also looking towards Saturn? And inside Cronus is, it says the sun is a rock. It says something to do with the backside of something, because you do know that Nus and sun is actually talking about like ass. And again, once you mention that, for me, it's split because you have 2 sides. If we sum the digit, wouldn't the core numbers just be 369 and backwards 9? If we, I'm not really sure. If we sum the digit, wouldn't the core numbers just be 369? I'm not really sure what you're saying. Which core number of what? It's 1 and 2. That's all there. It's 1, 2, and then creation. It comes together. I'm not really sure the context of this. I've never really built myself a square to say I know exactly. 3, 6, and 9. They're in a category of their own. They're in a category of their own, and everything fits into 9 at the end, right? Everything fits into 9. 9 times 2, 18. Now, there's a star system. When it comes to star system math, right, 3, 6, and 9, right, are really funny, right? 9 will always be 9. Okay, and 6 will always be 6, and 3 will always be 3. 3 times 3, 6. 3 plus 3, 3 times 3, 9. 3 plus 3, 6. 6 and 9, 15. 1 and 5, 6. 9 times 6, 54. 5 and 4, 9. 9 and 6, 15. 1 and 5, 6. 15 and 54, 69. So it's just back to the same number. I'm just going 6 sides. Lands gets hard to come to conclusion, but gravity, cosmic. Route 15, New Jersey. Is that a Route 15 or is that an I-15? So Route 15. So it's a route and it's not an interstate. So I'm just have to see. Okay, so it's an old road, route in old road. I still haven't learned the difference terminology between route, street, to understand what they're getting to when they use these names in building the cities. But if I take it to my own analysis over location, right, is the T. When you have the T letter, okay, it's going to be it's a meeting place. The T is like a meeting place. It takes 4 energies to meet at the T. It's going to be in all directions. So it's like a main intersection, or it's an artery, a main artery. O is a lesser artery, but it has a complete. Just give me a second. There's 4 O's to 1 T. So I'm just trying to figure this out. It's just getting late. I'm just going to explain it easier. I just want to check it. Sarah, alchemy, follow life creator, dollar spike. So the number 4 on the calculator, on the ATM, not on the ATM, your typewriter, number 4 is the dollar sign. If you take a number 5 and put a 1 through it, like Area 51 creates a dollar sign. Also, once you do that, it looks like a 9 and 6, and then it looks like an 8. It looks like a percentage sign. So when you split the S letter, it's a lot more than just that. So now let me do this and just show this little piece here. See, just call this the octagon because I created 4 lines. This is the star system. It's addition and multiplication. If I only use 3 of the 4 lines, I can create 4 of these from this. If I do this and this is an octagon 8. This is a hexagon 6. This will be my creation. I will create 4 6s to 1 8. That's what that combination will be. Yes, so it's 12:30 at night. I'm going to just take a look. Let me see. Did somebody want to come up? Well, we're down to 4. Yeah, so I had somebody that wanted to come up earlier, but there were so many questions. We're so few of us here. I couldn't answer them all, so I'm going to be... I lost the dog. Yeah, I'm going to be going to bed, to sleep. Tonight I'm going to sleep upside down. There's a foot hanger over there, and they're going to slide me into the closet. So the more blood that comes down to my head, I'll be able to think a little bit more tomorrow. I'm kidding. Let me see, is there anything else out with this? Some of the nice words I liked. I liked algo, which backwards is the word goal. And then it's like logos. I don't remember what this word was. Locus, forget what that word is, but it goes in with this. Al for alchemy, algo, alchemy, alphabet. We worked with the number. Somebody said, what about Allah? What about Allah? Well, if I'm going to redo reflection, A through L equals to 78 as L through 8 equals to 78. When you see two numbers, it's easy to say, okay, I'll use 77, I'll use 88. Where does just one 7 come from? Can it be two 7s? If I do go to two 7s, it tells me the power of the matter of Christ. If I go to 88, it tells me about the constellations. It's funny that the constellations is 88, okay, the master number of 11, and Christ is 77. 77 and the master 11 equals to what is the constellations 88. It's just too perfect for this to just have happened on its own, right? And I don't like to get into that, get into these channels and they put you on the pedestal and they say flat or round earth. I don't care. Then they ask you about God or no God. I don't care. I really don't. I seriously don't. It makes no difference. If you're not going to be nice or good or honest, you know, it doesn't mean you have to tell everybody your whole business, right? I mean, and I'm speaking here and I'm quite sure like 75% of the real people on here are going to agree. We shouldn't be fighting anywhere in this world. Nowhere, nothing at all, zero. Stop. It'll never stop unless you stop. You're the first one to stop. You're going to get hurt no matter what. Somehow, somewhere, mentally, you're going to be either mentally or physically injured if you don't just lay it down now. Stop flying. So they'll put you in jail. How long can they put everybody away for? Who's going to lock who up if everybody just stops locking each other up? You know what I'm saying? I lock you up, I get a job, you lock me up, you take my job, I lock you up, you lock me up. What kind of BS is this? Like, what are you doing? Seriously, is that a game? I mean, if I was the mother or the father of us house, I'd say, hey kids, what are you doing? What are you doing? What, so you won the deck of cards at school today? Big deal. So you're out gambling, you're all gambling, right? Even those that they're all gambling. They think they're making money. They don't see what's happening, the inflation, no matter how much they work, no matter what they've done. They don't see what's happened over 90 years. Are we all that blind? No, most of us on TikTok, probably not. Even if we talk about a lot of things that don't make any sense or we're arguing, and there's a lot of people out there very vindictive, doing things on purpose in order to delusionize us, thinking that something is actually getting done. Nothing's getting done. Nothing can't get done. We're the majority. We're the only ones that can do anything. And we're still picking everybody up, stopping people for doing so many things instead of just pulling them over and giving them a break, giving them more breaks. If we're going to do our job, let's do it even better. We don't have to hand out all these tickets, right? The department doesn't need the money. It doesn't. They're not going to pay you anyways, or they're going to take it away from you. Eventually, if it's not today, it's within the next 10 to 20 years, right? Right? Don't you see what's going on? Does anybody see? Or maybe I should just say I'm delusional, right? But it doesn't matter because I'm not saying anything concrete. I don't want to put anything down concrete. But I've just watched the last 20 years go exactly the way my visions are. And not only that, now that I began to understand the alphabet, now that I start to understand not the alphabet, it was just the combinations, the letters, the planets, the zodiac, the Mayan calendar. Okay, the word spirit is 91. The Mayan calendar has a grid stone of 7 and 13. It just so happens there's 13 cards in a suit. When you add 1 through 13, it equals to 91. It just so happens 7 by 13 is 91. It just so happens that a letter can be split. They call it the split house of Abraham. AI is where the Capricorn stone comes into Sagittarius by virtue of the birth. They relate it to the 9 birth. Is it the 9 birth? Is it the 8 birth? Is it the 10 birth? You always say the 9 month. I never hear anybody say the 10 months of birth. The 10 becomes in the airborne. Once you come out in the breath, you're airborne. But otherwise than that, you're all tied up in the oceans of the mother. I need a little drink of water. Is there any chance that this glass is going to fill up anymore? with air. Yes, after I drink the last bit of water. Oh yeah, I agree with you. Hey, I'm just trying to see where else we can go with this. I know we didn't talk about Monopoly. I know there's so many things. The Roman numerals, 1776. Yeah, here's one I brought out before. I spoke about A, E, and I are all the fire signs. Then we have B, F, and B, F, and J are all the earth signs. And the earth sign comes with the letter O, by the way. And then we have the CF. No. We have the C, G. It's funny, C and G come together, eh? We have the C, G, and K. And we have the C, G, and K, and those become the air signs. And then we have the D, H, and L, DHL, 4, 8, and 3. And that becomes the water sign. I'm just taking a look at it, how this conforms. So Capricorn is going to be fitted with Taurus inside of this, and Gemini is going to be fitted with Aquarius inside this equation over here. And this is going to be the placements of your fire, earth, air, and water. And it's ironic that in the in C, in the house of creation, right? C, G, and K gets inverted to D, H, and L. The same corridor, the C and the D is the same corridor as each other. The communication comes with BC, where BC equals to D, or runs with D in your birth. So the communication comes in with ABC, right? To where BCD is the 9 birth, to ABC is your 6 life. So you convert from the 9 birth and remove yourself from the D water into the A fire. Do you follow me with what I'm doing with this? Can we look at what they did with this, or is this part of our of part of the nature of the creation? But yes, I'm going to agree with you for sure. Yes, yes. But how can I ever know what I know if it didn't get split up? Where would the English language be today? Right? Where would the English language be today? What am I talking about? Do I make any sense at all? What are in my words? What do I say? What am I doing? Right? I'm scrying, which means I'm reading through the words. I'm bringing together can I say the virtual reality? It's the actual reality. When I say there's a corridor between 3 and 4, and if you take away 1 from 4 and add 1 to 3, you know in between here and here is 1. The only funny thing about this is this is Rubik's Cube. And there's not one, but there's 26 of them. No, I don't have it. There's 26 of them. So there's 26 of them. Your birthday is a face. That's your birthday. It's a face. 3, 6, and there should be 3 more in the center. 9. Sorry, your birth is a face. Your birthday is when you run the ring. Why? It's 12 months. There's going to be 3 all the way around. Even though you don't see 1, there's 3 all the way around. So it's 12 and 9, 21. How about Lilith? Lilith. Let me see. Yes, of course. Non-scammer. Da 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 da. I just want to say good evening. Okay, to everybody. Are there any questions? I'm just trying to see what else is left. So, did you understand what I was doing when I was doing the association between cardinal, fixed, and mutable signs? Is understanding the separations are by 3. And if you take a look at the calculator over here, the ATM or your telephone, going up and down, everything is by 3. Going side to side, everything is by 1. Going on these angles, right? 3, 5, 7, 2, 4, 6, and 8 is all by 2s. Unless you're coming down this way, 6 to 2, 9, 5 to 1, 8 to 4, all by 4s. 3, 1, 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now when we go 1, 2, 3, 4, now we can understand cardinals, cardinal mutable, fixed by 3s, fire, earth, air, and water by 4s, 3 and 4. And when I cross my hand, it's eternal. Can I put both my hands inside? No. Hey, eternal. So where are we? Yes, of course, cosmic chaos. Yep. Where else can we go with this? There's a little bit more. You know, as I understood through this, is because of this, right? I don't know if I took that phone call from my friend before, but okay, they're going to bed. I think I'm gonna just go in a second. Every one of these faces, okay, no matter how I touch 2 sides, I'm always going to be touching 7 dots. Tell me when to stop. Look at my eyes, right? Look at my eyes. Look, right? I'm going to stick my hand in here and just go 2. Now you're going to look, watch. When I lift this finger, right? When I'm just going to slide it over. 4, 3, 5, 1, 6, 5, 2, always 7. So there's a whole story. It's a schematic. Every 71 minutes. Anyways, Raphael, we're into the Capricorn hour right now. This is the Capricorn hour. If we added in the Chinese zodiac, it might be the time of the rooster. If we were into the alchemy time, I don't know what it is, but I have to learn the rest of that. Peace and love. Everybody have a good night. If you'd like to help and support the channel, I have a description back on my, I'm never sure what that is. Anyways, I got to go to bed. Peace and love. Thank you very much. I'm stuck. When I get thirsty and tired, and I'm starting to come out of it, there's just so much, just so much. There's so much more to do. And like I said, we need to bring peace. And I believe that by sharing this understanding that it did need to take a superior brain or a computer to create this, people will start to understand there is something hidden deep. And once they know there's something hidden deep, maybe they'll put down everything and say, I don't need to find God. I know something is wrong. And I also know if this is hidden so deep, then I have to know that there's 100% truth that there must be a God, that there was a computer before and somebody hid it on us. And we just have to stop fighting. There are no enemies. No human is an enemy to another other than those that put you to war. Stop. Have a good night. Yeah, it's time to wake up, and I'm going to keep sharing these numbers. I'm going to keep sharing it. We're going to go through everything. If you have anything you would like to ask or numbers from somewhere, we can go over it. If it's a word, a few words, if it's something to do with plumbing, I'll be happy to take a look at it. This is what I'm dedicated to do. And that's the end for me. Hell or high water, this is what I was made to do. And I've been doing it for 20 years. And I put out the art with it. You can check out my YouTube channel or look on Google, look up Mr. Tack Pans. Usually I'm hard to find. They keep showing you a pan of eggs for breakfast. So take care. Thank you, Nooks and Cranny.